Hello, guys. This is Coach Lacresha. I just had a really crazy experience, and I might tell you guys about it by the end of the video. But for the sake of getting this video done, because I'm apparently having a really hard time with it, I want to talk about self-healing because several of you guys have asked me. I know my dog didn't die. I don't have one. Nobody's dead. I'm having a an experience. I'll tell you guys about it later. But so anyway, um. self-healing. Some of you guys have been asking me about it. Healing is probably one of my more powerful gifts, one of my beloved gifts. Like, I love the idea of healing. I love the experiences that I've had with helping other people heal. But most important to me is when I finally learned how to heal myself. And guys, it did not come cheap. I nearly died. I had near-death experiences, several. Okay. And so I had to learn how to heal. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a video about energy manipulation. I've done a couple, but I'm going to do some more. And I somehow the posting, oh gosh, it's just been kind of crazy trying to keep it in order, like posting in order. I kind of lose track of what's what because I got so many video files on my computer. So anyway, when it comes to self-healing, you need to understand energy. You need to know how to feel energy. And at the very least, if you cannot feel energy and if you cannot manipulate energy, then you need to have a really strong mind. You have to be able to believe that whatever you command, it will be so. That there is not a higher force for you in your life than you. And I'm not talking about the creator. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about forces like cancer, AIDS, blah, 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 whatever it is that you're going through. You have to believe that you're stronger than that your consciousness is higher than that, and that this is your avatar. No, you own this body. Okay, so nothing has the right to invade something that you own. And if something has invaded, you have every right to kick it out. Kick its butt and don't play with it. A lot of people are not healed, and I'm just get this right out there in the beginning. A lot of people are not healed because they play games with their healing. They don't really want it. I remember it was times, this is when I was preaching and traveling a lot. I used to get real bad headaches, and I would especially get headaches if I lay hands on certain kinds of people. It will make my head hurt really bad. All of my energy processing goes through my head. So I can always tell by how my head is feeling what's really going on with a person or with a situation or blah, 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 blah type of thing, right? So anyway, I was going through this whole thing with having these headaches. And so one night I was like, oh God, just please take this headache away. It's like, I don't want to go through this headache. And I was kind of like begging God, and I was praying, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. And sure enough, it's like I heard a voice so clearly, really soft, but very, very definite. And the voice said, if you don't want the headache, then release it. You're holding it. And I was like, release it. Like, everything you have is what you keeping. What you have is what you have called, what you have accepted, and what you choose to keep. That's the only thing that you have. And then I was just getting this download about it. So I said, you know what? You know what? I do not want a headache. I release this headache to go back to where it come from. I will not have a headache. I have things to do. And I command my body to line up with my will, which is to be feeling good right now and full of energy. Okay, now the headache went away that quick. I mean, literally, as I was speaking, I was getting more forceful. It was just like this forceful thing that was happening. And by the time I finished with my couple of sentences, my headache was gone, like just like that. It was another time I was out and I started having this aura like I was about to have a seizure. And it was coming on strong. And I was starting to get scared, and I realized that feeling in myself because I tend to get scared every time I get ready to have every time a seizure comes. And so I was like, and I looked around and I looked at my clothes, and I had on this kind of semi-short dress. And then I thought about my underwear that I had on thongs. Y'all might think I'm bullcrapping. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. By the time I thought of the thongs, seemed like the seizure had happened, but in my mind, it seemed like I wasn't in my body while I was going through the season. It was like I was witnessing. I had fallen, and my husband was there, and I was like, and he immediately dropped whatever he had. I forgot what it was at the time, and he started trying to grab for me, and it's like I heard it was all in such slow motion. It was like I heard a voice that say, "Are you gonna let this happen to you?" Here. It's like, look at what's happening to you. You can control this. And I remember saying no, like in my head, it was like I was screaming it, but I was watching my body screaming with me, and the seizure broke. This is not no bull crap. This happened in front of so many people. The seizure just broke. And I went from convulsing to just, and I sat up and I pulled my skirt down real quick and I jumped up real quick, and Mike was like, you know, I remember one time when I was in prison. I had just got out of the shower. They give us robes. And I'm giving you guys these stories because I want you to understand that what I'm going to tell you next is not just subjective information. This is my real true story, and I know that it works. So I was in prison. We have to walk up to, so we have robes or whatever. We walk up to the shower, we take our shower, we can come back in our robes and lotion up and do whatever we want to do in our bunk and get dressed. Well, I had my robe on, but I didn't have nothing on under it because I hadn't put on my deodorant and my lotion yet. So long story short, I ended up falling into a seizure, and this one came on really suddenly. And it was, and I remember when I went back and hit my head was the last thing I remember, because I hit my head on the metal bunk. And then suddenly it was like I was witnessing myself doing this again. And it was like, I heard one of the girls, it was like I was in the ceiling, floating up at the ceiling, watching the whole thing. And I heard one of the girls say, "Go get the guard," which we had all male guards that day. And so I saw her run out, and I could feel the guard coming, and I looked at myself, and my robe was all open, my vagina out, my breast out, and I was like, this no, and I came out of it and reached for the covers, and I'm telling you guys, it's like I could tag one of the ladies that was in the prison with me. Me and her are friends now on here. I reached and grabbed the cover and I pulled it up and covered myself up, and he was like, "Are you okay?" When he got in there, I was like, just kind of like shocked, like I don't even know how that happened, but I'm back already. Now, anybody who have seizures can tell you that after a seizure, there's a long period of disorientation, and normally you're sleepy, and normally you're this and you're that. And so suddenly I was learning this lesson that I don't have to bow down to my body. I don't have to feel a pain if I don't want to. I don't have to go through the brokenness if I don't want to. Now, somebody could come, yes, and break my arm. I could fall down the stairs and break my leg. Yes, that could happen, but I don't have to suffer through that. I don't have to. And I don't have to go through months and months and months like normal people, because I know now that my body is going to respond to my mind. It will respond. Even skeptical doctors and science has proven that sometimes the placebo effect is powerful. They will give you a pill that is nothing but sugar. It has nothing in it. And they will tell you that it's for this and this is what it's supposed to do, and it will happen. It will do exactly what they tell you it's supposed to do because you believe that this pill is your salvation. That's why. So if you're right now dealing with some sickness in your body, I don't care what it is. I don't care how untreatable they say it is. It could be leukemia. You could be in the last stages. If you can hear this video and if you can wrap your mind around this information, you can improve your state. Now, let me say this. There are times and there are people who choose their method of healing, which is to move out of this body altogether. They don't want to be in it anymore. And they move on. We call it death. There are other people who go through a point where they fracture every bone in their body out the a parachuting accident or bungee jumping or base jumping or name it, car accident, and they command you will heal. They be like, you ain't gonna never walk no more. I will heal. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk. I will not accept that I won't walk, and I'm not ready to die. So this body got to do what it got to do, and it happens. Now you got all kind of stories in between, but see me, I feel like if I can prove that Sister Sarah had anything and that everybody else said she couldn't get rid of, and she got rid of it, then if it's good for Sarah, it's good for Lacresha. That tells me it's possible. If it's possible, then it's going to be possible to me. It has happened before. It will happen again. And when you have that mentality, there is nothing you can't command to come out of your body. Now, with that being said, let me talk to you about energy manipulation and how to utilize your energy to cleanse your body of anything that's not friendly toward it. When you are meditating, and this is why, when I used to read the Bible all the time, I was praying like a mug, but I never could get into the meditation, like praying meditation, like, yeah. It's like meditation, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to meditate. That's the most boring thing in the world, So anyway, I ended up loving and falling in love with meditation on accident. So when you're meditating and you do sink into that place, and that place is not something that a person can describe, but when you touch it, you're there, because thoughts cease, even if it's just for a moment, but your thoughts tend to cease and you tend to just sink into this calmness. You can't even tell if you're awake or asleep. It's like you lose track of your body and everything else. Some people call that serendipity, and that's one of the best words I can think of it for it too. So when you sink into that place, you'll begin to feel your energy. You'll feel heat and energy around your ears, your eyes, every place you got an opening. You'll feel it moving through your body. It's almost as if you can feel your blood flowing, your heart pumping, your lungs working. It's like all of a sudden you're very in tune. At that place, there's nothing you can't do. What do I mean by that? So when you sink in, and we're just going to pretend that I'm in sync. When you sink in, you want to scan your body. What do I mean by scan? No different than if you was running your body through a CAT scan or MRI. You want to scan your body. Most of the time I tell people start your feet up, and that's like you put your focus on your feet and you just begin to feel your way up. Feel your way up. It's like my feet, my ankles, my legs, my knees, my thighs, my this, my that, my this. You're going all through your body. And then you need to start feeling what each place feel like. And anything that you don't like how it feel when you put your focus there. Because when you put your focus on your stomach, not your belly, your stomach, if there's something wrong with it, as soon as your focus hit it, you're going to feel it. It's like it's all of a sudden you're going to really feel it. And when you feel it, at that point you command whatever it is down to the root, down to a cellular level. You uproot any cause for disease out of your very DNA, and you give that whole thing either back to the universe to be transmuted for whatever purpose, or you cause it. In my mind, sometimes I'll burn, like I'll scan through my body and I'll just burn up cancerous cells, like any cells that's cancerous in my breast area, because I refuse. I burn it up. Like with the lupus and everything, I had this for a while. And then I remember one day I laid my hands over my face like this. I said, Lord, I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. I refuse. And I was like, it got to go. And it began to fade and fade and fade. Then I started getting downloads of knowledge how to avoid that happening to my face. Then I had to learn what was triggering these things in my body. And then I began to attack those things, like what is it? What is it? What is it? It's like you scanning. Sometimes it's your personality. It's the thing, the emotional decisions you make because you are stuck on an old love, heartbroken and don't want to move on in real time, and you don't think that has anything to do with all them chest pains. You be getting all that angina, all this chest congestion where your lungs just full of gunk. You just congested because you're hanging on to something. Okay, so our bodies, we are fully integrated beings. This meat suit is called what I call an avatar. It allows you to operate. Okay? When you're breathing in, it's almost as if you're breathing in the permission of the Most High to exist. That's the life that you're breathing in. You're breathing it in. You're breathing out. You're breathing in clarity, focus, power, permission, love, and you're pushing out everything contrary to that, whatever that may be. How you operate this thing is all about your soul. Now, your soul is in your body, and the spirit keeps you percolating. So all of this stuff works together, and you cannot separate it. You can't separate your emotions from your mind, from your body, from your spirit. They're all integrated. Not the same. I didn't say they're all the same, but they're integrated like this. They affect one another. What one do, it affects the other. You understand what I'm saying? So for you to heal, you have to identify all the problems on the various planes and direct your energy toward that problem. Like, I will not be sick. I command every cancerous cell to be incinerated and destroyed. I command every place where I have cords that's attached to other people that's bringing these things to me. I cut every cord. I demand to walk in I command my sovereignty. I fully accept and am responsible for my sovereign self. Nobody else's decisions will influence and affect me in a negative way. I refuse, the poison, because I might be eating a salad and I might think that's the best thing in the world, but I might not be thinking about the pesticides. Most people don't. But every time when you find yourself scanning your body, you also have to say, I pull out the poison. My body refuses the poison of whatever this food is. Anything that's in my food, in my drink, anything that's in the air that I'm breathing that's not useful for me, I release it. And then you have to literally release it in an exhale. You have to feel yourself pushing it down. That's why meditating outside and grounding yourself into the earth. What does grounding yourself? Take your shoes and your socks off and put your feet in the dirt. Put your feet in the grass. If all you got is concrete, put your feet in the concrete. Get out of your shoes. Ground yourself and see yourself pushing. It's like a purging process, like the light of the Most High coming into you and pushing out everything that would hinder you, everything that would come contrary to you, whether it be anything, leukemia, depression, anything, you name it. Anything that will make you miscarry, endometriosis, bone disorders, it don't matter what it is. You see it going out of you into the earth where it can be utilized, where it can't hurt her, and then you pull back up from the earth, nourishing, healing, nurturing, growth energies. This energy that's going to cause you to grow and mature and be healthy and be happy and be whole. That energy comes from the earth. And that's how you heal. And you have to do it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And why do we have to keep doing it? Because see, some people are like, well, I thought I was healed, and then all of a sudden it came back, and then all of a sudden it came back, and then it came back again. It's like, I guess it just don't work. Well, you take medicine every day, it don't even go away that way. It's like, and listen, for the sake of this video, take your medicine. Go to your doctor. Now, if the day come where the doctor say, oh, you don't need any medicine, or you know for yourself that you don't need any medicine, that's between you and the doctor. I'm not telling you guys not to take your medicine. I'm not telling you guys not to go to your doctor. Okay? Okay. So, but what I am saying is we are so skeptical about natural healing, but not skeptical about a pharmaceutical industry that grosses billions on medications that actually make us sicker. They tell you right there on TV. They tell you right there on the labels. It's going to cause like, oh, I need to get rid of my headache. Well, it could cause stomach lining bleeding. It could cause urinary tract infection. It could cause, in rare cases, it may cause your heart to stop, a sudden death. If this and this, if vomiting, high fever, and coma or whatever happened, then call, seek emergency medical attention. What? Okay? You cannot afford to be bipolar about your health. You cannot afford to stay skeptical. I'm sitting right here. I don't have a problem opening up my medical records to whomever. 4 different times I know for sure, and more than that really, but 4 different times I can prove for sure one's supposed to be here. Should have been gone. And I'm fine. I can stand up right now and just show myself off. I look good. I feel good. I'm in a good place. I have moments. I was just in a car accident, a terrible car accident, where I had left frontal lobe brain damage where my brain was bleeding in March. This is June. I went into the hospital in ICU, surgical ICU. And they were saying that they are worried that they were going to have to drill. I was going to probably be in the hospital for a week. I was like, no, can't do it. I got stuff to do at home. I can't be sitting up in no hospital the whole week. I got business to do. And I chose for that not to be my reality. The next day they came and I was like, well, we're going to move you to the floor. It's still going to be probably 2 or 3 days. I was like, well, that's better, but not quite where I want to be. I got out in 2 days, guys, when I wasn't supposed to get out that quick. They told me I was probably going to have a hole drilled in my head. Didn't have to have a hole drilled in my head. Even now, they said that these things I should have to worry about. They try to come. I refuse to receive them. I refuse to accept it. This is my brain. That's worth fighting for. That's all I have. Your body is all you have. Learn to sense your energy and direct it. Sometimes you have to give it a hell of a punch, and sometimes you might not have enough energy because you've been worn down by this disease, by this sickness, by this depression, by whatever it is, by these diagnoses. So you have to reach up and get that infinite power, because it don't matter how much you pull down from there, it ain't gonna never run out. Okay, so you reach up and you just receive from the divine. It's like, no, 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 no. I got to have some healing. I got to have it. I have to have it. It's not an option for me. This is not an option. This is what it will be. And then you direct it to where you need it to go. And when you're directing, you see yourself healed. And you know what? The worst thing that can happen, it don't work. What did you lose? I mean, people kill me with that. They don't want to try because it probably won't work. What the hell? You ain't got to pay for it. You don't have to pay for a connection to God. You don't have to pay for a time that you spend sitting at a park, just meditating, asking the earth to fill you with her nourishing, healing, nurturing energies. All of this is free. It's bad when we've been so mentally programmed that free sounds foreign, sounds like it ain't right. You can self-heal, no different than a lot of you are good at healing other people, but you ain't self-healed yet. You can self-heal. You have that power. We are sometimes more doubtful when it comes to doing for ourselves. It's like we got this idea of charm, like, oh, you can't benefit from your magic. What? Yeah. My gifts were given to me for me and you and you and you to benefit from. But me and you and you and you. Just like my love, it was for me. Charity starts at home and spreads broad. I can't give you nothing I ain't got. You need to think about that. So if you guys need some help, of course, I'm a coach. I'm spiritual advisor, whichever way you want to look at it. I do all kind of readings, cord cuttings. I direct energy and help people heal, that kind of thing. But I also coach people about their life, because sometimes if it don't do you no good to heal if you're going to stay in the same kind of brokenness that caused it in the first place, okay? So I do all of that, so hit me up. My website is LacreshaHayes.com. You can email me at lacresha.hayes@gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook. It's Lacresha Hayes. So anyway, guys, this is my time. I went way over. I'm like 24 minutes. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to this whole thing. You might want to listen a few times. You need to get this in your system, because I know that you can do this, and I want to see you do it. I want to hear some testimonies. God bless you guys. Namaste.